This is another raised bed. It's called an African garden or a keyhole garden because if you notice, it's like a circle and the little wedge in the center is like if you're looking at a keyhole, the old keyholes were on doorknobs. That's what it's supposed to look like. And at the center has got a basket. The basket is a composting basket, so you can throw chicken scraps in there, waste, leaves, yard waste. I throw in any plants that I get out of my raised beds that I don't need anymore, just throw them in there.
Keyhole gardens are a relatively new idea that started in a school in Africa. These keyhole gardens are becoming very popular in the United States as a way to grow quality vegetables at home.
And one of the most important things in the garden, and particularly in the kitchen garden, is composting your green waste. Now, like I said before, I'm very much in favour of working with nature, if you like, as opposed to against it. And one of the ways of working with nature is allowing nature to work on your waste and turn it into valuable compost. Here we have a system, and it's a system that we've robbed, if you like, from Lesotho in Africa, where they use this keyhole garden. And the idea of the garden is that this one small plot would be enough to keep one family self-sufficient in vegetables for the whole year. The waste goes in here in the middle, and that composts down, and as it composts down, it leaches into the soil around it, where you grow your seeds and you grow your fruit and vegetables. It's a knacky little idea. No reason it can't be used in the smallest of gardens in Cork. It's raised, so it's very, very helpful from that point of view. And most, I suppose, fruit and vegetable gardening, an awful lot of it, not most, but an awful lot of it is done in raised beds. Now, you can use whatever material you want for raised beds. Here we're using stone because that's what they did, or that's what they do rather, in Lesotho.
A keyhole garden is a perfect example where you can use recycled materials, you can use less water and less maintenance to keep a garden in the desert. We are trying to grow some vegetables here, but you can also grow flowers to invite pollinators to your home. These keyhole gardens were developed and actually installed in areas in Africa where they have similar conditions like we have in El Paso. So we are not the first ones to do it, but we are certainly trying to use another technique to show customers how they can grow a nice vegetable or flower garden.
The idea of this garden started in Africa, and it's basically a compost heap in the middle with a basket, so that the nutrients can come out of the basket and into the soil of the garden. The reason it's called a keyhole is because the entranceway and the round centre looks something like a keyhole shape.
Welcome to the Garden Show. This morning we are in the country by Victoria, and we are at the garden of Pat Austin, and she is a multi-talented person. She has many hobbies, and she's good at many things. She's a seamstress and a cook and an artist and a photographer and on and on. But today we're going to talk about her garden. So welcome, Pat.
Well, thank you, Linda. Would you like to come into my garden?
Yes.
This is an arbor my husband made for me years ago for Mother's Day, and now it's loaded down. I don't think we'll ever move it. But come on through to my perennial garden is where we put our special garden that we're going to talk about today.
All right. So here we are in the garden. And I'm curious about how you found out about this keyhole garden.
Well, in the wintertime, well, all the time actually, I love to surf the web. And I was doing it on gardens. And I pulled up all these images and found this interesting shot of a round garden that was raised. And so I went and clicked on it, and I went to the article, and they called it a keyhole garden. And I said, I've got to find out more about this, and found out, that's how I found out about this particular kind of garden, and I had never heard of it before. So it's very interesting.
Well, is it ever? How did the concept get started for making these kind?
Many years ago, or several years ago, I should say, probably 10 or 20 years ago, there was a group, a humanitarian group that wanted to help the people in southern Africa, particularly the country of Lesotho. It's the country that South Africa completely surrounds.